I just want to congratulate you for deciding to join this amazing team. Welcome to Team True Blue. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, but this doesn't feel right.
No?
No, I mean, they're not really getting an idea of who we are, what we're all about as a team.
Well, what are we about?
Well, we like to have fun, so let's show them a little party.
Okay.
Welcome to Team True Blue!
Wait, I can't do it! I don't know how these work!
Welcome to the team, guys!
We are the Koch family. Welcome to Team True Blue.
Hey guys, what's going on? Gary Stern here from Melbourne, Florida, wishing you a warm welcome into Team True Blue.
My name's Evelyn. My name's Grayson.
And I'm Amy, and we want to welcome you to
Team True Blue.
Hola, te saluda Sheila desde Puerto Rico. Estamos muy contentos que te hayas unido a esta gran familia. Te deseamos mucho éxito. Bienvenido al equipo True Blue.
Hey, I'm Tanea. And I'm Shy. And welcome to Team True Blue. Yay!
Hi, we're Kathy and Daniel Bernard.
What am I supposed to say? Welcome to the team. Let's party!
Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome to Team True Blue. We're excited to review.
Welcome to Team True Blue.
Hey, everybody!
Hello, everybody. This is Tim and Tori Hill. Welcome to Team True Blue. Best decision you ever made in your life.
Woo! We're so excited for you!
Hi, Mindy from New York. Welcome to Team True Blue. 生命优势 Team True Blue 团队欢迎你哦。
Hey guys, I'm Erica.
I'm Brandon.
We're the Woodruffs from Vancouver Island, Canada, and welcome to Team True Blue.
Jessica J-Lo Paris saying, welcome, super excited for you to join us. And, link arms, let's run a little bit. If you're ready to run, we're the team to do it. So welcome.
Hey, Team True Blue and LifeVantage. What's up, guys? It is time for the July, can you believe it? It's July. It is time for the July virtual training, and we are excited to deliver this information to you. You're going to see something a little different if you've seen some of our trainings before. We've got 3 trainers for this one, and we've also got some amazing product stories. We've got amazing business stories. You're going to be introduced to some new distributors you may have never met before, but we are excited to be kind of broadening this training out for you today. So make sure you're taking notes. However you're going to do that, go back and watch this as many times as you might need to watch it. But let's get this show on the road, and we're going to start this thing off with none other than Pro 9 Fred Graves. Take it away, Fred.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Graves here. Excited to come and spend some time with you guys to talk about some of the most important things I have learned over the years. I've been involved for almost 10 years. November of 2009, I'll be 10 years in the industry, 10 years in with LifeVantage, before having no experience whatsoever in the industry. And so I think we'll have a lot in common for the ones that this is your first go around. I was in your shoes. I think it's most importantly when you're looking and watching these trainings to realize we all come from the same place. It was very comforting to me to know that the people teaching me had came from the same place. A lot of times in life you hear from teachers that have been through so much, and it sometimes is difficult to put yourself at that level. But really we're all equal. It's exciting to know 95% of this company has never done this before, and our system is built around people that this is our first go. So it's exciting. We just ended our largest physical year ever, largest month in company's history, so lots going on. I'm Pro 9 in the company, and I'm fired up to be here with you guys today and spend a little time with you. And I'm going to share with you guys a topic that I feel is probably one of the most important topics for you to really, really understand when meeting a new distributor. And I want to share my story with you guys because I think it might relate. But when I got involved in November 2009, I got involved because this was my way out. I saw this as an opportunity to position myself in front of the masses. If you guys have heard my story, you guys know that I went through some tough times and lost everything I owned. So I was searching for something. LifeVantage was the solution, the answer that I was looking for. It made sense to me and I dove right in. And I think it's funny that a lot of times the mentors that I have that were at the top of this company that I literally followed everything they told me to do, every time I met a new one or talked to them for the first time, they would all ask me the same thing. They all look at me and they go, "Hey, Fred, nice to meet you. What's your why?" And to be honest with you, I'm like, man, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm like, why did these people keep asking me what's my why? My why? I'm broke. What do they keep asking? What's this whole why stuff? And then they got on stage and like, "Your why's not real unless you cry." I'm like, well, I'm just going to work. Like, I don't need to cry about this stuff. So to me, I can tell you, I did not understand the importance of the why. I didn't understand what your why was true defining in your journey. I will tell you, having 9.5 years of experience now, building 2 elite positions, I can tell you now when I speak to anyone in my organization that is at a position to where they're either trying to launch their business or relaunch their business, one of the first things that we talk about is their why. Because I have grown and understood over the years that it is the motivator for growth. It is the gasoline that makes the engine go. And I want to work with you guys to help you define your why. And I also, along that process, I want you to understand the importance to work with your team on that why. So I'll tell you this. Yes, I had a why. I had a why that drove me, that made me do things that most people wouldn't be willing to do. I'll tell you this part of it. When I enrolled my group in Louisiana, I drove there every single month for 2 years. We slept in the back of the car because we couldn't afford hotel rooms. And a lot of people would look at me when they heard that story, and they're like, "Man, you did that?" And I'm like, what's the big deal? Like, to me, my burning desire of change was so big. My why was so big. Even though I didn't understand how to talk about my why or define it yet, I had one. Because it was making me do all these things that the average person wouldn't be willing to do. But to be honest with you, when I look at the things that I did, the hurdles, the struggles, all the things you might say, "Oh my gosh, this guy had obstacles to overcome," they weren't obstacles at all. To me, it was part of my journey. I wasn't complaining that we had not enough money to stay in a hotel. We were so fired up that we were on a path to get money to be able to afford a hotel. I didn't care that I had to sleep in the back of the car. So again, I had a driving force, but I really didn't know how to explain it or talk about it. So I'll tell you guys this. One of the things that really helped me understand the importance of a why. I know when we talk about, your first step of getting into network marketing is what your why is. I want you guys to understand the importance of it is a lot of times people want more time or they want more money to grow their business. And I want to explain to you that those desires aren't strong enough for you to make it to the top. You have to tap in a little bit more. And with a why, a lot of times people are like, "Yeah, I know my why. I want more time with my family." Well, great. But why? Why do you want more time with your family? Or they might say, "Well, I need more money to get by." Well, what would you do with more money? So my question that I'm asking you is this, and I need you to understand very clearly, okay? I want to be very blunt with you. What I'm going to go through with you has nothing to do with materialistic things. Zero, okay? But I need you to dream bigger. I need you to think outside the box. I want you to understand that society has reprogrammed the masses the way they think to justify that their life is okay. And whatever situation they're in is, "Oh, this is the card I've been dealt. This is the way." Bullcrap, okay? I want every single one of you to erase that out of your mind. I want every single one of you to realize that you create whatever life that you want and you deserve it. Okay, let's just be clear about that. When I go through this action with you, I want you to understand this is not for material things, but I need you to think differently. My question to you is this. Today's the 1st. And on the 15th of this month coming up, let's just throw a number out there, $20,000 a month. Let's just say on the 20th or the 15th of this month, $20,000 is going to hit your bank account. Oh, by the way, 15 days ago, $20,000 was debited into your checking account. And 30 days before that, on the 15th of the month before that, $20,000 was went in the account. Let's just say for the last year, every 15th of the month, $20,000 has been entered into your checking account. Okay? What I want you to do is think for a second. $20,000 keeps coming to my account every month. If I spend it, it comes back. That's residual income. It just keeps coming. $20,000 a month is my residual check. Would I drive the same car? Would I live in the same house? Would I eat at the same restaurants? Would I shop at the same stores for my family and their clothes? And again, this is not materialistic stuff, guys. If you love your Buick, go pay the sucker off, okay? If you love shopping at Goodwill, go buy more, okay? The point of it is I need you to think differently if you ever want to end up something. One thing I've learned in life is if you ever want to get to the end result, you've got to know the path. There's too many people going through life not knowing where they're going. There's too many people going through life shooting an arrow at the wall and then circling and going, up, this is where I ended up. No, no, no. I want you to create your bullseye. I need you to know what you're working for, okay? So with that being said, would you change things in your life if you could? And you might say yes, you may say no. Majority of people, when I talk to them about, they usually go, yeah, man, I'd love to live on the water. Okay, well, here's what I need you to do. If you want to live on the water, is it the lake or is it the ocean? I don't know. Is it on the beach or do you want access to fishing in a boat in the backyard? There's a difference. Do you want a big house where people can come visit with you, or you just need a small place because you don't like visitors just for you and your family? What is it about that beach? Is it the sand between your toes? Is it the smell of the ocean when the wind's blowing and the sun's coming up and you're drinking your coffee on the porch? Can you smell that coffee? Can you taste that coffee? Are you in a rocking chair or are you on a swing? Paint that picture. This is real stuff. This isn't, hey guys, let's go dream. You know why a lot of people in life think that your why is silly? Because in kindergarten you were asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they went around the room. They said, what do you want to be, Johnny? Johnny said, I want to be a fireman. Okay, Susie, what do you want to be? A nurse. Hey, Billy, what do you want? They just went down the line. They never said, hey, Billy, let me show you what you got to do to get there. They never gave them a path to the destination of where they wanted to be. Well, we want you to create the destination. We're going to show you the path. That's the difference, is we need you to dream again, because this is real life, okay? This is a real opportunity. We're dealing with real products that are life-changing. This isn't a question of if people are going to take our products. It's a matter of when the world is taking our products, because no one knows about it yet. This is the biggest opportunity of your life, and you have the opportunity to take advantage of it, and you also have the opportunity to have as much of it as you want. I need you to dream bigger, and I need you to smell the ocean and taste the coffee and know the color of your house. What color is your beach house going to be? What color is your car going to be? What color is your bedspread going to be? These are the things that I need you to do to really create your why. And I want to prove to you for a second why it's so important for you to know a clear cut, without a shadow of your doubt, what your driving force, why is. And this is an example that was taught to me and it hit home. I was like, oh my gosh, this is probably when I went, okay, I get it. Now it is very, very important to me. At the time, I was like, I'm just going to go get this thing done. Yeah, there was a driving force, but I didn't like talking about it. And what I realized, you know why a lot of people can't figure their why out? You know why a lot of people don't like talking about your why? Is because it usually hurts. It's usually stored up emotion. Something happened in your life that hurts to go there. And most humans like to protect that. Most humans don't like bringing up emotion. Most humans don't like to cry if something hurts. So, when I'm talking about really digging into your core why, sometimes it hurts. And I want you to know it's okay. Because the only way to really, really remove that hurt is to face it and then go do something about it. But this example really opened my eyes to the importance. And let me just ask you a question. Let's play along. I need you to imagine with me, okay? So I know some of you in a room with other people. Some of you are in a presentation mode. Some of you are just sitting on the couch watching this training. Wherever you're at, okay? If there's people next to you, act like they're not there. What I want you to imagine is, I've never been to, actually I have been to Chicago, but I was in and out. But I was going to say, I haven't really experienced the Windy City. And I hear that Chicago's a pretty windy city. So I want you to imagine this windy, windy, windy city. And this high-rise building, 50 stories up. Okay, so can you see it? 50-story high-rise building right on Lake Michigan. I think it's Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan? I shouldn't have said that. I'd get myself in trouble. Anyway, on that big lake. So, big high-rise building in Chicago. Big lake, man, it is blowing. Can you see it? Can you see it? All right, you guys know what a walkboard is? In construction, they use a walkboard. They put a ladder up on here side, a ladder on this side, and then it's this beam that's about 16 inches wide, 30 feet long. And they walk back and forth doing it. I grew up in a family construction, and we used those things to put up vinyl siding on houses. My dad, very young age, and my cousins used to shoot staples at me. Not fun, but anyway, you get the drift. So you can imagine a 55-story building, Windy City, and this walkboard that goes out. This walkboard, imagine, it goes out over the water. I mean, if you fall from that level, you're done. There's no swan dive that's going to save you. You're done, okay? It's bye-bye time. Imagine this walkboard that's 16 inches wide, and it just goes out, let's just say it goes out a football field length. If the building's swaying here, do you know how bad it's swaying way out there? Can you envision it? All right, I know you got the picture now. 55 stories, windy as can be, football field out, 16 inches wide. There's no poles. There's no safety net. It's just freaking a walkboard that goes out. My question to you is this. Would you walk that walkboard for 10 bucks? Most of you are probably going, no way. Would you walk to the edge of that walkboard to the end if there was a $100 bill at the end? Probably no. What if there was 1,000? What if there was 10,000? What if there's $100,000? There's a bag of $100,000 cash at the end of that walkboard. You do a lot with it. You can pay a lot of bills off, remove a lot of stress. Would you do it? Some of you are going maybe. Some of you are going, heck no, I ain't doing that. What if it was $20 million? Oh, it just got real. 20 million bucks. You probably, if you are smart with your money, never work again. 20 million bucks. You could probably invest it in the right places and be good. And go enjoy life and go raise your kids like you should. And go be the husband or the wife like you should in your arrangement. So let me explain to you what I just did, okay? What I did was I put your life in jeopardy of a value of $1. And you kept going back and forth making a decision. My question to you is this. Now I want you to think that you've got a 3-year-old daughter and someone is holding your daughter on the edge of that walkboard by her hair, about to drop her. Are you going? I can tell you right now, even though I'm not with you in that same room, you didn't think about it. There was no hesitation. You're running. You're running, you're crawling as fast as you can, whatever you got to do to get your daughter. There was no, I wonder if my life is worth $1 or $10 or $100. There was no, I wonder if my life is valued at a dollar amount. There was none of that. You saw your daughter and you know you would do anything for her or your son, and you went like that. And that, my friends, is why your why is so important in this business. Because when you can taproot your why, when you can understand why you're picking the phone up and talking about this business, why you're hitting those and charging those ranks, why we're developing leadership, why we said yes to this opportunity, more than likely it's family related. And when you realize that you're in a situation that you can create a life for your family that is better than maybe the life that you had, or recreate a situation that you miss. Maybe it was fishing with your grandpa or riding the tractor with your dad. An emotion that you want to give your family member. And you realize that this is a vehicle to make it happen. That's taprooting, okay? It's taking that why that you think you have and peeling back layer by layer by layer till it's right there. And you got it, you know it, and you realize that usually your why does make you cry. Usually, the emotions come up when you know your why, because it's a point in your life that's very near and dear to you. You guys know I don't usually talk about my why. Why? Because if you've heard me talk about my why, you've usually seen me break down at the same time. I don't like going there. Why? Because no one really likes to necessarily break down in front of people. But I've done it plenty of times. I've done it enough for all of you. There's recordings of it. I'm not going to do it again right here. But my point is, nothing, no one will ever get in the way of where I need to go. And when I started this journey at LifeVantage, this was my way out. This was my way to get my daughter back. Actually, I just Just dropped her off for having her for 2 weeks here in Louisiana. That's why I moved here back to Louisiana, because the arrangements I had wasn't working out. And I was in a situation financially that I didn't have to call anybody. And literally in 12 hours, I made a decision to put my house for sale and come back to Louisiana. Rather than I'm not going to go through the court system and fight that stupid battle. Things weren't working out. I just put myself in a better situation, okay? Because I could, because I can, and that's what I needed to do. So I'm telling you guys this. Tap into your why. It will become your biggest driving force. It will make your nose not hurt. It makes you become not emotionally attached to what people think. Because at the end of the day, you guys hear me talk about this all the time. Don't become emotionally attached to what people think. Who gives a crap? What your friends and family think about LifeVantage is irrelevant. They're not paying your bills. They're not giving you more time with your family. They don't know jack squat compared to what the American Heart Association says, or Harvard, or Duke, or LSU. It doesn't matter what their opinions are. They're not smarter than the people. So why would we, me and you, allow them to predict our future and allow them to create our emotions to go like this? It's why you never allow your outcome of your prospect control your emotions. Because when you get frustrated, all you're doing is getting frustrated on your why. When you get slowed down in your business, all you're doing is pushing your why a little further apart. And let me tell you something. When the times got tough in this business, you would be crazy if you ever going to think I was going to look my little girl in the face and go, listen, 10 of my friends told me I was crazy. They told me I was stupid. They told me I was in a scam. They told me the pill didn't work. They told me that this is one of those things. Listen, I don't give a crap what any of them said, because they weren't getting me close to my daughter. When I came back from the third world country, broke, they didn't pay my bills. I made the choice to go get it done through LifeVantage. And because I focused on my why, and I was determined to go get this done, I got it done. And I'm not done. We're working harder than we ever have before. Let me switch gears for you guys for a second. Hopefully you guys are getting my passion and emphasis on why your why is so important. Because I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you want to go to the next level, let's sit down and talk about your why. Because I promise you what you have to do many, many times along this journey is revisit your why. Let's talk about the person that's Pro 7 wants to get to Pro 8. Your why changes. You're making 10 grand a month. You're making 15 grand a month. You're making 40 grand a month, 50. I mean, look at the Pro 10s making 70, 60, 80 grand a month, 100 grand a month, 150 grand a month. You've got to recreate your why. I've had a lot of people tell me, why do you do what you do? Why are you traveling, building your business when you're living your why? Because what you realize, and why I love this freaking industry, and remember this the next time someone says this is a scam, is I'm not living this way because Fred went and worked hard. Yes, I worked my butt off. But I found a lot of team members that wanted more. And I taprooted into their why, and I helped them succeed. And because you help other people succeed, guess what happens to you? You succeed. That's why I love this business. Why do you see Pro 10 still working? Why do you see elite distributors still working as hard as they are? Not because they need more money. Trust me, you can get by on the money that we're making. But you start to realize there's more in life than money. I started this conversation off with, this is not a materialistic training. But you've got to dream bigger. Yes, I can afford whatever I want to afford. But I've also been able to put a lot of families in a position to where dads aren't just providers. They actually get to raise their kids. Because I focused on what I needed to do. Because I faced my fears. Because I got over those hurdles. Because I knew my why. It wasn't just creating success for myself, but it impacted thousands of people's lives. So dig deep on your why. And whatever rank you are, dig deeper. And now understand that I don't necessarily have a why. I'm now purpose-driven. My purpose is now I'm pretty much living the why that I set out to do. My purpose is to go help as many people as possible live their why. And I'm going to tell you this. When I really started having success in this business, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to close with this story. I pretty much rank advanced every single month. I got to about $80,000 in volume and got stuck for 2-3 months. I was there for 2-3 months at 80,000. I thought the wheels were falling off the bus. Isn't that stupid? Your business grows every month, and 1 month it may slide back or stay still and you freak out. But yet, 90% of the people that are in this business has had a job for the last 10 years and they got a 50-cent raise and they're just doing what they're doing. And 1 month our volume doesn't go up. The wheels are falling off. Stupid. I was there. I get it. We're all learning, right? We're ignorant until we understand how powerful this business is. That's why I told you what I love about this is I've been on that journey you're on. I've been in those feelings. I've had those emotional roller coasters. But let me close with this. Is I would do every single call that came my way. I would do every single meeting. I did everything I needed to do as a true leader for my team. But I got to be honest with you. I was so focused on hitting elite status that I was doing those calls and doing all those meetings so that I could hit elite status. And I had a mentor tell me, and it was really frustrating. They always said, man, this is still about you, isn't it? And it really frustrated me. It's like, yeah, man, I'm going out and building this business for my family. Of course it's about me. And don't give me no bull crap. It's about you too. It's why we go out and leave our families to go build a business for our families. And he goes, you'll figure it out. You're a smart dude. And I went and man, it drove me nuts. But I racked my brains and I started to realize how humble these top leaders were, right? And how their focus was always on their team and how they made me feel when I was around them. And all I really shifted was really learning my team's why. And when Susie needed a call, I did it focusing on helping Susie get to her why. And when Johnny needed a meeting, I focused on, is Johnny about to hit rank or is he closer to his why? And I really used the why, not just mine, but it turned into using the why for my team that really, really propelled my business. And let me tell you, we hit Pro 7. 4 months later, we hit Pro 8, and 4 months later, we hit Pro 9. Okay? So when I tell you, when you create the mind shift, things follow. And we'll tell, I mean, it's a total number subject, power of your mindset. But hopefully this helps you guys out understand the power of your why. It is the gas. It is the fuel for your business. Taproot it. Don't be the tough guy that's too tough to go. I promise you, if you peel back the layers of the onion, if you peel back the layers of those emotions, is what it really is. Onions make you cry, and so does your emotions. But if you peel back those layers, you're really, really going to taproot into your why you said yes, why you go do the things you do. And when you taproot into it, nothing can stop you. And when you get to that point, you get to the point to where I chucked up, listen, it's on me. It's nobody. It's not my upline, downline company's fault. It's Fred Graves' fault. And I'm not looking at my little girl or my wife or my kids or my son and telling them that it got too tough. And you know what? Daddy's going to go get a job. And I'm going to go back to living my life through the weekends. It wasn't going to happen. So guys, go get it done. We love you guys. Again, we do this as a partnership. We're all on the same path. Don't ever feel like it's you. There's no such thing in network marketing as a you problem. It's a network marketing problem, and that's why you go to your upline, wear your backbone, come to Device, and we'll walk you through it. You guys have a great day, and I went a little bit over on time, so I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Peace out.
Oh, what a way to kick off this training. Thank you, Fred Graves. That is flame throwing. That's a fireball right there. You can tell he's sincere. Fred just speaks from the heart, says it like it is, and we love that. That was awesome. Guys, that training will help everybody that listens. No matter your rank, no matter if you're new or old, that training needs to be applied in everybody's business. So thank you, Fred, for that. And thank you for all the people you've helped inside of Team True Blue. So we're going to make a transition here from that fireball of Fred Graves to a little bit more soft-spoken, but she's a fireball. I've seen her in action. I was up in Connecticut, and I'm going to introduce you guys now to Meryl Fry. She is just phenomenal. Her story, she's going to tell you a little bit of her story here. She's soft-spoken, guys, but this story is unbelievable. I hope you guys get to know her on a more personal level at some point in the future at events. But guys, this is Meryl Fry from Connecticut. She is a brand new Pro 3, and she's going to share with you why she joined, a little bit of her product journey, and she's going to give you a little bit of some tips on how she launched her business and how she's got to Pro 3. So Meryl, take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Meryl Fry, and Brandon asked me to just share a little bit with you all about my story and how I came into this business, and then just how I've reached Pro 3. So I have some notes right here just so I can try to stay on the 4 to 6 minute mark. Don't take up too much of everyone's time. So again, I'm Meryl Fry. I'm from Simsbury, Connecticut, and I am a mother of 4 children, 2.5, 7, and almost 10. And then my oldest would be 12, but she passed away almost 9 years ago now. To make a long story short, she was born with a massive brain injury at birth and was very medically needy for the 3.5 years that she was here with us. Her name was Charlotte. She was very sweet, cuddly love bug. But due to that, I was ended up staying home with my kids. I was a teacher before that. Been very lucky to be able to stay home with my kids. When we moved to Connecticut, after being up in the Boston area, I started getting really involved with health and wellness type things. I'd always been an avid exerciser and pretty much eaten well. I have a gluten allergy and things like that. But I started moving into, really clean eating and clean products for my children and things like that. Long story short, my son was diagnosed with ADHD and was put on the spectrum for autism. And my aunt had invited us to a meeting back in October of this past year, October 2018. And she was talking about her journey of how she had been feeling amazing, that her fibromyalgia had really, the symptoms had gone away, and she was explaining this journey to us. At that time, I was listening to about this product named Protandim and was just blown away immediately, really. And I was actually really drawn in when I saw the slide that I know all of us have seen about the boy with anxiety and learning struggles. And so I decided to put my son on it, my son with ADHD, who was 6 years old at the time. He responded amazingly to this product, as many of us have heard these stories. Within a month, we had his first conference, and at that time, his teacher said she was blown away. She had known Ben since he was 3. She said, "I can't believe how well he's learning." She didn't use the word fog, but she just said, it's like this whatever cloud or something had lifted, and he just was able to take all the information in and start reading and writing, and started to be able to put what was in here on paper. We started seeing it home. He was able to sit and draw for long periods of time, whereas this was totally not something that he did before. So my husband and I started on the product very soon after that. And then come November, I had been saying to my aunt, "I'm going to tell everybody about this. I can't believe this. This is crazy. I can't believe nobody's heard of this up here." Her and Mimi said to me, "Well, if you're so excited about this and you want to share it, well, then you should probably sell it." And I pretty much was like, okay, and jumped right in. I started going to a lot of meetings. A lot of times, even if I didn't have a prospect with me as a customer, I just wanted to learn more about the products. I started watching YouTube videos. I started just really trying to gather as much information as I could and learn as much as I could, watching Dr. Joe McCord on YouTube and just soaking it all in. finally, at some point, I decided to start having my own meetings. I had already been reaching out to my warm market of family and friends. So I started having my own meetings, whether big or small. And at that point, started getting customers slowly but surely. For me, it has been more of a process, a longer process of getting a customer. I have to really work them through what this is. There's not that immediate trust. I do actually have one friend who, her and her husband were pretty much immediate customers, and then she now is a distributor. Took her a couple of months, but she decided that she wanted to sell it too. And my dad decided to become a distributor under me as well. And actually, at one of my big meetings, I had, sorry, that was my timer. So I'm going to start wrapping up. At one of my big meetings, I had my sitter there because I do have another part-time job, and her mother, the entire time was really into all of this, just immediately latched on kind of like I did. And long story short, she became a distributor and has really done, this is Kathy, has really done a lot and gotten a lot of people on the product and a couple of distributors underneath her. So really, I guess I would say that I've done a lot of the trainings, and if I can't get to the trainings, I watch them at home, whether I'm on the treadmill or whatever. I've been to one Elite Academy. I'm about to go to the next Elite Academy. I've been to the Albany trainings. I'm trying to glean as much as I can and learn as much as I can and just build upon that. And I guess that's kind of how I've reached Pro 3. And I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing, try to step it up a bit, reach out to more people, make my list bigger. I do know a lot of people. But thank you, Brandon and Lynette, for giving me this opportunity to talk. And I look forward to, continuing to learn and being part of this business. All right. Thanks so much.
Meryl, just thank you for sharing that story, your story. First time I heard it, I was blown away. I knew I wanted to share it with the team. And there's more to it. You guys know that when you first join LifeVantage, you share a little bit, but there's a lot there. And I think because of Meryl's success, you guys are going to see a whole lot more of her. Her story will propel a lot of you through this business. And thank you for sharing. That was just amazing. And congratulations on Pro 3. That is not a little feat. That's amazing. That team up in Connecticut, you guys watch that group, watch Meryl. It's going to be fun watching their journey of success through this. And they're going to help a lot of people. So thank you for that. Now, let's transition again to one of our other trainers. This is going to be Mr. Gary Stern. Guys, Gary is an Elite Pro 7, and I don't think for long. I think there's some rank advancing coming in the future for this guy. I really do. And Gary has prepared for you guys in Gary's style such an amazing training on social media. He's just amazing at what he can do. The visuals he's going to share is incredible. And not all of you are using social media to build your business, and that's okay. Believe me. We got to Pro 10. A lot of the elites in Team True Blue got to the ranks they are without social media. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's the way it happened. Now, the last few years, there has been a major shift in the world. Social media has played a part in that. And we feel as a team that it's important that we provide you training in the social media world, because if we don't, you're going to get it from somewhere. And we feel like we would rather you learn from our mistakes. We will shortcut it for you a little bit. And Gary's one of the best. He's one of the best. He's well studied in it. And I'm going to just tell you what you're about to see is going to blow your mind. So Gary, take it away.
Hey guys, what's going on? Gary Stern here, coming to you live from Melbourne, Florida. Super excited to be a part of this training. I was asked today to talk about social media, and I know so many of us probably have a ton of questions around it. We want to make sure that we're doing it right. We want to make sure that we're getting the best results. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we need to make more connections, right? We want more connections, which will lead to more customers and business partners to help us grow our businesses even further. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in, guys. So first of all, I'm going to talk about our team Facebook groups. I feel like that's the best place to start. It's super important to understand what each group is for, right? So Team True Blue, if you're not a part of that group, make sure you're a part of it. If you're a distributor, that's where you add your new distributors. It's for distributors only. It's where you're going to get updates on team information, things along those lines. Also, when you have prospects, you want to make sure you add them to Life Biohacked. Of course, you want your teammates already a part of that, your business partners, because otherwise they won't be able to add people to the group. So again, you're adding your new distributors to Team True Blue. That's where all of our distributor-related activity is, and you're adding your prospects to Life Biohacked because that puts them in an environment where they can continue to learn without it being overwhelmed by some of the other distractions that are outside. So let's talk a little bit more about the groups right here. To invite a new member, it's simple. Just type that person's name under invite member. It's on the right-hand side of the group page. That's after gaining their permission. It's super important to gain their permission first and foremost before you do this. Once they're invited, shoot them a messenger message, right? Letting them know you've added them to, again, in this case, you've added them to the Life Biohacked group, right? That way they know they've been added to it. You can even copy the URL from the group and message that to them to make it easier for them to find it, right? That way it comes in Messenger and they're going to get notified through their Facebook as well. You want to tag them in the announcement or the pinned post. That's the post that's always at the very top of the page, right? Why is that important? That gets them started in the right place. You don't want them starting midstream in a discussion and being confused. You want them right there where they can jump right into the stream where they should. They then have to accept the invitation to the group. That's something new that Facebook did about a year ago. Unfortunately, it's made it a little bit more difficult for us, right? It's so that you don't add people without their permission, but once they've been added, they have to accept that invitation. So unfortunately, as administrators, we get a ton of questions about this. Why hasn't my person been approved to the group, right? And it's not that they haven't been approved. They have been approved, but the prospect, they have not accepted the invitation yet. So make sure you message them to remind them to accept the invitation. And then lastly, be sure to follow up. You want to make sure you're following up with your prospects via Messenger within 24 to 48 hours. See what they like best. What are they most excited about? What other information do they need? Because remember, our job is information and education at the end of the day. When we get that to them, typically in the form of a story is best. That's why these groups are so powerful. They're seeing and hearing stories, and those stories are powerful. They sink in, but it's not going to do us any good unless we're following up with them, right? So let's jump into the next part. The next part is social media basics, right? I'm talking fast because I've got 20 minutes to cram in. I got an hour to cram into 20 minutes. So what are some of the basics? For some of you guys, this is going to be redundant. For others, this may be a little eye-opening, right? Make sure you're doing all these things. Make sure you're using a headshot profile picture. Still, to this day, I see people posting on social media and they've got like their dog in their profile picture, or worse yet, there's two ladies or two guys and you don't even know who is who, right? It may be you and your sister and you love that picture of you and your sister. For your profile picture, crop the sister out so people know who you are. That's who they're going to go into business with. As you're posting, you could have the most amazing posts in the world, but if they look at your profile picture and instantly say, I don't want to do business with that person, you know, maybe it's you partying or it's you doing something just stupid that we shouldn't post on social media, make sure it's, excuse me, a good, clear profile picture, good, clear headshot, right? You want to use the 4-2-1 when it comes to posting. It's super simple. It keeps 80% of your posts at the end of the day non-business. And you want to be posting every single day. I'm going to expand on this, but 80% of your posts should be non-business. Guys, we're not out there just spamming the heck out of people. We want to make sure that we're creating value, that people come back and want to keep checking out your profile over and over again. So what are the four? 4 is 4 posts. And notice that 4, 2, and 1 adds up to 7. That's 7 days in a week. So if you're posting daily, this works out perfectly. Maybe you're doing 2 a day. Who knows? Then you would have 14 total. That would be 8, 4, and 2. But anyway, we're starting with 4, 2, and 1. 4 posts, fun, positive. The fun posts are positive, humor, family-related, relatable, fill in the blank, trends, lists, captions, memes, gifts, contests, polls, whatever. Something that's fun. People are scrolling through Facebook because they're bored. The last thing they want is some big, long dissertation every time you do a post. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. The next 2 posts are curiosity creating, right? These are testimonies, stories, recognition, travel, things that create a little bit of curiosity. I'm going to give some examples of these here in a second. So this isn't you blasting Protandim, Nerf 2, Nutrigenomics. This is creating just a little bit of curiosity, right? Maybe it's you holding the pill up saying, do you know what this is? Something along those lines. But there's no marketing, there's no advertising, there's no any other pronouns, names of products or companies or anything on there. Then the last one is a business post. We need to be doing this once a week. Many people I see are doing this 5 and 6 times a week, and your friends will tune you out. They want the fun stuff with occasionally a business. It's like left hook, boom, right jab, or left jab, boom, right hook, right? Just like Gary Vaynerchuk talks about. So think about that, and you want to let them know more about what you do without using LifeVantage or product names, right? So your goal is really ultimately to get somebody to message you. Now, let's talk about some don'ts. I already talked about one in the profile picture. Another one is don't put LifeVantage or Protandim, those words on your profile, right? Especially if you're brand new. Some of us that have been in a lot longer, pretty much every single one of our friends knows exactly what we're doing. So we may occasionally put something in there, but if you're brand new, even up through a couple years, 3, 4 years in the business, do not put LifeVantage or Protandim on your profile. Do not claim retirement in 6 months or in any time frame for that matter, because you may have to go back and eat those words. Don't post topics that can limit your audience. I call these polarizing topics where they're like religion, political, racial. Guys, definitely not. Reason is you're going to alienate pretty much 50% of your audience right off the top, no matter what. You don't want to treat social media like it's your psychiatrist, right? You don't want to be sitting here preaching financial freedom on a Monday if there's pictures of you fully plastered on Friday night just 2 days before, right? Or if you're on there constantly whining and complaining and moaning, but yet you're this positive person that's going to help them build their business, right? I mean, you can see where I'm coming from with this thing. And here's one other one that people just don't realize. Employers put more weight on your social media than they do on your resume, like your Facebook post. Did you know that? So you could turn in the most amazing resume and on paper look wonderful, but they're going to go on social media and see what your true colors are. So are the people that are looking to do business with you. So are your prospects. They're looking. So let's go over a few examples of what these fun posts can look like. Guys, if I didn't use an example of yours, it doesn't mean you're not posting phenomenally. I went for fast ones where I knew people were consistent. Some are mine, some are Rob Sperry's, some are Tim Cox, some are Brandon Cunningham, Rachel Jackson. I grabbed some from all over the place, from ones that I knew were consistently getting results from their posts. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So Brandon, this one, when he talked about getting a new rod and reel, who wants to go back? He asked a question at the end. So a bunch of us commented on there. You'll see there's, I think 205 people had already either liked or loved the post. I don't remember how many comments and shares there were. Same thing here. Brandon, again, he just posted this one yesterday. It's literally, it's not what, he talks about how he's shopping all the time on Amazon, but it's a double post, right? He's doing it for fun to make us laugh, especially with the picture of him with all the boxes, but he's also getting a point across that the world isn't going into stores anymore. They're doing online shopping. And what is our business? Online. They're subscriptions. They're getting it shipped straight to their door. So it was a dual post. It was funny and fun, but it also created some curiosity. How about Rachel? Talking about, again, you can throw out wisdom or some motivational stuff. Avoid people that are avoiding certain people to protect your emotional health is not a weakness, it's wisdom. Powerful. Look how many comments, look how many shares, right? When you put something out there, short, sweet, to the point. Facebook loves short. Either they want the long post if you need to like tell a story, right? A story in a post, or they want the short, sweet one like this because it takes up less real estate so they can show more of those posts. And of course, Facebook loves that because they want to get more out there. How about Tim's with his beautiful daughter here? I mean, guys, look at that. You see the picture's visually appealing. It makes you smile. The minute you see it, you start smiling. And people need that as they're going through their workday. They need that break, right? I did this one, Happiness Is. I did it about a week ago. It's had almost 200 comments. Not a lot of reactions, right? Likes or loves, that's fine. The comments have allowed me to start having interactions with the people like Robbie that have commented on there. Coincidentally, Robbie's a brand new associate of mine as well. Not a business partner yet, but a brand new friend, I should say, a brand new connection. This one, yes or no, right? I asked a yes or no question and why. And a bunch of people put their opinions in the comment section, but it also was linked to money. I did it on purpose. It's a fun post, but it also creates some curiosity because it shows me where people's financial intelligence is, and maybe I could share something with them, i.e. LifeVantage, that could provide that financial vehicle they're looking for. Rob's was funny as heck. He showed this like picture of how they started trying to do a Facebook Live, and it didn't go well. They were yelling at their kids, and it's super funny. If you look at the top picture and then the bottom picture, they're all like looking all fancy and pretty or whatever. So it's not always, reality is not always what it seems. I did this one here, that feeling you get when you leave all your baggage behind, right? It was motivational. It inspired people, and a lot of them, they see the picture of you like jumping or doing something crazy. The picture, if it's visually appealing, will get them to stop, at least react, like or love, and comment most likely. And then, of course, if you are blessed enough, like I have been 2 years in a row, to see a turtle on the beach in the middle of the daytime laying eggs, those things go viral. People love things that are coincidence, that are a chance, right, in nature. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that that was destiny. But that being said, look at the number of views, look at the number of shares, look at the number of comments. Find something that people like, just, it could be an everyday thing like a turtle at the beach. Maybe it's a manatee if you live here in Florida. Maybe it's a wild elk if you live out west. Wherever you are, find something that's fun, right? And also notice that going live really gets your audience drawn in. So we're going to talk about that in a second too. How about curiosity creating? What do I mean by curiosity creating? It's simple, guys. This one from Tony is with Rob Sperry, and even a couple leaders that you guys recognize, right? Maybe you recognize Angel Fletcher. Maybe you recognize, of course you should recognize Taylor Worry and Rachel Jackson. They're with our company. But there's like a meeting of the minds, right? And he's talking about, so people are curious, what are these 5, 6, however many, 6 people doing together in this picture, right? It creates some curiosity. Brandon created curiosity by talking about how 99% of the world's wealth is controlled by 1% of the population. It shows him reading and developing. And that creates curiosity in their mind. Why is he so intent when they know he's successful? Why is he still doing these things? How about this one, talking about, are you happy? Some things to think about, right? The decisions that you make today can have massive impacts on our future happiness. So it really gets people thinking, right? Curiosity creating is getting them thinking. I threw this one out there the other day. When your business is taking off like a SpaceX Falcon Heavy launch, you can tie your posts into events that are going on right now, right? Remember they were doing that 10-year challenge, how you look before and then 10 years later. And a lot of people, their 10-year posts, when they're in LifeVantage, they look better now than they did 10 years ago. They look younger, right? So tie it into something that's going on in the world events. Another one here, top 10 reasons why I'll never stop biohacking. This one's bordering on a business post, but it did create curiosity because we didn't talk about any product names. We just talked about some of the information that people need to know. Why I'll never stop biohacking. You see Stephanie, she said, please PM me the info. She became a customer just a few minutes later after I got the information to her. This post, this was money. This was the one that Brandon shared with us, and a lot of us did it. And I'm probably going to do this one at least once a year. Guys, that post right there, when you're talking creating curiosity, it's short. Notice it's 2 lines, right? If you don't know what I'm holding, you should. If you do know what I'm holding, please tell me how it makes you and or your loved one feel. I didn't ask for it lowers this or does. How does it make you feel? and look at all the comments, look at the shares, look at the reactions. Just out of that single post, I ended up with, I think, a distributor and 5 or 6 customers. It may have even gone higher. I haven't really tracked it back to see. And that's another thing we should be doing is tracking. So I'm going to go a little faster here. Business ones, guys, if you're doing business ones all the time, stop. Do them once a week. You'll have more impact that way, right? Fun posts every day, and bam, hit them with a business post once a week, like Rachel did here. She talked about how she took the last bit of money she had no money to her name, basically mortgaged everything and went all in. And years later, look at how happy she is. If you read the whole rest of the story, you would see her happiness factors through the roof. Was she scared at the beginning? Yes. Was she nervous? Yes. Did she take a chance? Yes. But that single decision led to a lifetime now of happiness, right? How about Tim? If that picture doesn't create curiosity and want to know what business it is that Tim's in, I mean, come on. As a dude, I'm looking at that going, a 6-pack? Are you kidding me? That's off the chain. And I'm sure he got a ton of people asking him, what are you doing, right? That's a business post. I did this one about Lance, how I couldn't go have lunch with him in the middle of the day because I was constantly working. I was always in other cities, right? But because of a choice that I made 8 years ago, 6 years ago, I was allowed to go full-time. I was able to go full-time and able to spend more time with him, right? People, that's a business post. Oxidative stress. This one's a little bit more business-like. It shows the pill, but you can't read the bottle. And it talks a little bit more about oxidative stress, but it's short and sweet. Why, again, are you not doing it? I ask a question, I got responses. This one, hot off the press, talking about how our company is doing in general. You can talk about how your team is growing and put a picture of all your teammates, right? I couldn't find one of those quickly, so I didn't do one today. Or I did this one, it's 98 months in a row of residual income. It's just throwing, I call them shots across the bow, right? You're throwing shots across the bow to get people to stop what they're doing and make a decision. So, last but not least are some of my pro tips. Track it. Remember I said that I was going to come back to that. Track your activity on social media, guys. So many of us are just posting. We're scrolling and posting, and we're liking and loving all these other LifeVantage distributor stuff, which I'm not saying we should not support each other. We should. But guys, they're already in. You cannot enroll somebody who's already in. Newsflash, right? So why keep doing that? Build your audience with people you can enroll. Build your interaction with the people that you can enroll and track that activity. I guarantee you, if you do this one step, you'll look at social media differently. I didn't realize how much time I was wasting on there. Now I'm doing the business with intention, right? Intentionally, just like John Maxwell talks about, just like Brandon and Lynette Cunningham have talked about when we talk about intention. So it's the types of posts you're doing, the frequency, which one's got the best result, which one's got the worst. Look back at your posting over the last month and see for yourself what's getting the most responses. What's most important is a share. A share would be the absolute, like the end all be all. It's the most important, followed by comments, because comments you can then interact with people. Likes, loves, the reactions I call them, that's just a quick click. People just go click, scroll, click, scroll, click. But if they stop, think about it, and interact and actually comment with you, money, those are the ones you want to do more of. How many new friends did you add? How many messages or touches did you do, right? It doesn't matter if you're not taking it offline into Messenger. How many invitations to check out LifeVantage and how many 3-way Messenger threads? Guys, those last two, that's where the money is. It's inviting people to look at what we have and then following up with them and getting them into a 3-way Messenger chat to make sure they get the information they need, they get their questions answered, and they jump on board either as a customer or a distributor. Go live. Yep, that's you right there. That means you. You too. Go live. Guys, when I started going live a year and a half ago, my friend list just went through the roof because what would happen is I'd ask people to share it if they found value in it. They found value in it. They'd share it out. And now all of a sudden I got all their friends friend requesting me. I didn't even have to go find people. They find you this way. If you're scared to go live, do it anyway. If you're scared to go live, just do it. You can't mess up. People will respect you for showing your true colors. So if it's tough for you at the beginning, tell them it's tough. Be a little nervous. It's okay. People respect that. They love that. If you're super polished all the time, they're going to be like, oh my God, this guy's a cheese ball. I can never do what he does. But if you have fun, you mess up every now and then. The other day I did one and my camera kept like going like this. And I kept having to adjust it. Finally, I wedged a rock in to kind of make it stand upright. People were laughing about it, right? You don't have to be perfect. Fall in love with Messenger. That's where the money is. M&M, money in Messenger, money in Messenger, money in Messenger. The money is in Messenger, not on your page. It's in Messenger when you're having those conversations with people. So take it onto Messenger as soon as humanly possible. Turns likes and comments into conversations. Excuse me. That way you eventually close your prospects. Your goal is to turn strangers into preferred customers and distributors ultimately at the end of the day. So those likes and comments and everything else turn into conversations on Messenger, which allows you then to enroll a customer or a distributor. And lastly, IPAs. Ask yourself this, IPA, income producing activities, is what I'm doing right now making me the most amount of money? So if you're scroll holing, you're just scrolling along and you're liking and loving the dog videos and cat videos and all that other crap that's out there, is that making you the most amount of money right now? So if your business isn't where you want it to be, or it is where you want it to be, but you want it to be even bigger, think through those things. And if it's not doing what you want it to do, it's critical. Guys, I wish I had a whole lot more time to go over these things, but I'll tell you this, it's time to get social. I'm going to throw in a little bit of bonus content right here, and that is some scripts, right? When you're using things in Messenger and they work well for you, keep like a script, I call it like a script library, right? In the notes section on your phone, it's really easy. On the notes section on your phone, I use Evernote. I love Evernote. I don't even use any of the other native. I use Evernote, period, for all my note taking now. It's easy to find things. So create one in there that says Messenger scripts. And if you like the way that you heard somebody say something, right? You know, I know Brandon shared one with us just the other day on our team live. If you hear ones that you like, constantly put them in there, right? You know, like, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being 0 interest, and exaggerate, 1's 0 interest, you could bold the 0, and 10 is a off the chain, ready to get started today, I'm in. Where are you, right? And that's a great question, a great follow-up question to ask somebody. Or what other information do you need then to get from a 6 to a 10 and be ready to rock and roll? What else do you need to see? What kind of presentation do you need to see? You're in control, but you're making it a presentation that they want to see, right? Or ask to add them to a 3-way messenger contact. Edify meaning edify your presenter. Edify your guest first, then your presenter or your advisor. And then just say, I'm super excited to introduce you guys. And then say what the purpose is. So like if I was introducing somebody to Brandon, I'd say, hey, John, this is Brandon. John is XYZ, Brandon is XYZ. The reason I'm connecting you guys is John is fired up about learning more about LifeVantage. He's not only interested in the products, but also the business side. And I told him I wanted to connect him with somebody that's had mad success in both areas of both with the product and with the business. It's that simple, guys. Then people can respond in their own time. So think about those things. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what's most important are those messages, right? If you need more help with scripts, of course, we could do a separate one of these just on scripts, right? But you don't want it to be so scripted that people think you're either reading from a script or typing from a script. If it's like that, guys, and it's not authentic, it doesn't come from your heart right here, then it's worthless. Honestly, it's worthless. They're going to see right through it. They're going to be like, oh, that's another cheese ball just trying to sell me something. So keep that in mind. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope I stayed within the time guidelines. I'm going to go back and check right now. I'm going to flip it back to Brandon, who's going to introduce the next section. Thanks for having me on here today, guys. And remember, we do these virtual workshops every single month. They're money. This is where your new people can come to learn, as well as those of you that are looking to make it to the next level, right? To go from Pro 3 to Pro 4, 4 to 5. This is where to come to get that information. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. Bye for now.
Okay, guys, that training on social media might be one of the best trainings I've ever seen. No, I'm not kidding you. Like, I've watched a lot of trainings from a lot of different people. Gary, that was phenomenal. That was so good. Guys, please apply what Gary just shared with you in your business. And thank you so much for that. Thank you for the effort you put in with the slides. It was phenomenal. It was just amazing. Social media is a big deal, guys. And Whether you love it or hate it, people's eyes are there. You don't have to use social media to build your network marketing business, but many people within our team and a company are either doing it all online or kind of doing old school and new school. So you choose, it's your business, but there is an amazing training for you to go and apply, put into practice, and start building your business online. Okay, so I'm really excited for you to hear from our next person on the training. Her name is Cindy, and she's just awesome. I mean, you just fall in love with Cindy when you meet her. We heard about Cindy. My wife went up and did a training up in Albany and came back talking about Cindy, and I got to witness this fireball, and she's just amazing. Her story is incredible, and she's gonna share with you her journey with our products, what a massive impact that has made for her physically and in her business. So Cindy, please share.
Hi, I'm Cindy Avesi from Connecticut, and I'm delighted to be able to share with you my story of success after using Protandim and Physique. I'm a reading teacher from Connecticut who's a busy mom and grandma and always been teaching, but active in community projects such as anti-human trafficking or grief groups for moms who have lost a child, because I'm in that category. So my life was going along pretty well until excruciating pain struck me. I had sciatica on the left side and extreme arthritis pain on the right. And then I actually ended up having to use a wheelchair. My husband was putting on my shoes and my socks. The weight gain that I was experiencing was unfortunate because of all of the food that I was eating from friends who brought it over as a treat for me since I was unable to get to the grocery store. Then the last straw was when my granddaughters acted out a skit of all the different family members, and when they depicted me, it was a grumpy old grandma with the cane in excruciating pain who said, "I'm sorry, kids, but I can't play with you. If I get down on the floor, I may never get up." So for me, that was a real eye-opener, to the point that I decided to put on my Facebook page, where I had 2,600 friends, that the pictures that I had been showing were from several years ago, and that actually I was in excruciating pain and miserable. Fortunately for me, a woman by the name of Mimi Madden, who was my Facebook friend but I hadn't seen in 32 years, saw that posting and instant messaged me. And then from there, she asked great questions, and before you know it, she was behind my door with an invitation to see the Crazy Yellow Pill video. And that video changed my life. It made such a difference, and I just was so glad after 4 or 5 more contacts from Mimi to begin using Protandim. And it was 5 weeks later that I was totally pain-free. So exciting. No more wheelchair. I began hiking. I started for the first time of my life going to a yoga class. I ended up having so much energy and confidence that my life started spiraling upward. Thank goodness for that. And you know, this pain-free life was just delightful. But then in the end of January, when I went for a doctor's visit, I had to be confronted with the fact that at age 67 and at 208 pounds and 5 feet 1 inches tall, I fell under the category of morbid obesity. And that wasn't who I was. So I ended up talking to my enroller, Mimi Madden, about the effectiveness of the Physique kit and all the scientific research that was backing it up. I couldn't wait to try it. And let me tell you, I started seeing results almost immediately. I was sleeping better, energized. I'll tell you, I started to actually get my waist back. Been a long time since I had seen that. And then people started noticing. My friends, I ended up losing 52 pounds from January 1st until June 1st. So they wanted to know what was going on with me because they had never seen such a glow on my face and so much energy from one person. So what happened is that my business started blossoming as a result of it. And it didn't take long before, bingo, I was a Pro 3, something that was part of my goals. I was so excited. My weight loss and new health ended up opening doors for me to have conversations with people, whether on my Facebook, or they saw it on Instagram, or I'd have them over to my house, or we'd go out to dinner to talk about it. It was really exciting to have something to share with people that really works and that had impacted my life in so many ways. So as a result, I just want to say I can't thank my enroller, Mimi Madden, enough for introducing me to this as a result of my keeping it real on Facebook. And also just noticing all the changes. I started decluttering my closet to give away all the too big clothes using the Maria Kondo method. I started going on hikes. I started playing on the floor with my grandchildren, having fun with them with Legos, acting out things. And so many people need to use this same product that I used. So I'm not shy about sharing it, and I hope you won't be shy either, because this is something that we have to really be excited about. Now, my 4 new distributors are also joining me in their enthusiasm over what the products offer and what the value is of being in LifeVantage. So we're having a blast here in Connecticut. The sky's the limit, and we are gonna soar like eagles. And as Lynette says, we are ready to go for it. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, guys. I told you what an amazing story. Over 50 pounds. Guys, that's just this a huge transformation, right? And so how does that apply? Well, her life changed. Isn't that what this is all about? Isn't that really, at the end of the day, these products changing people's lives is what creates fans of the product. And when you're a fan of something, you talk about it. And sometimes you talk a lot about it. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want hundreds or thousands of people in your organization that are just fans of these products and telling everybody they know? Absolutely, that is network marketing. That is the basis for how we build a business, is finding people who love the products and then sharing the information. So Cindy, thank you so much for that. And congratulations on hitting Pro 3 just a few days ago. That is amazing. We know you're not stopping there because your reason for doing this is huge and you've been successful at everything I think you've ever put your hand on. So congratulations and thank you for being a part. All right, we're gonna move into our final segment of training. We have for you guys outlined some amazing rock stars out of Canada. Erica and Brandon Woodruff, our Pro 6s, are gonna be teaching you the finer points of events and why we need to do different events and what kind of impact they can have in your business. It's huge, guys. Give these guys your attention. Erica, Brandon, what do you got?
Hello, hello, Team True Blue. We are so excited to be here with you today. We hope you're loving the virtual training that you've had so far. My name is Erica. This is Brandon. We're from Vancouver Island, Canada, so I guess you could say we're your international hosts for today. We're going to be talking to you guys about the event cycle, the importance of that event cycle, and how you can use it to grow your team and build your business. But before we talk too much about that, we need you to hear a little bit of our story and why events meant so much to us in our journey.
Absolutely. So as she said, Erica and Brandon, we're both 31 years old. We live here on Vancouver Island, like mentioned. Erica has her background in marketing and business, and I have my background in franchising and management. I feel like we were both been working hard at a very young age, all the way up till now. And at the time that we were introduced to network marketing, I can't say we were both looking for a change, but I think we were open to new opportunities, as most young people are nowadays. And that was around the time that Erica got introduced to it through her coworker, Michelle, at the time, actually, with the position she had in the past.
Yeah, so Michelle showed me network marketing. Loved the idea of it. We'd actually learned about the business model in university, which was great. But this whole company being so new and everything, to me at first, I thought it might be a little too good to be true. So lucky, I have one of the best moms in the world. I had showed her the business and she said, well, let's hop on a plane. Let's go check this out for real. So she dragged me along a little bit. We went to San Antonio, Texas about a week later for an Elite Academy. So yeah, amazing, right? When we went to San Antonio, I can tell you, we chose the cheapest hotel. We stayed a little bit farther away from the convention center. We weren't really into it. We were not ready for what we were going to get. We didn't expect it at all. So we both went in, kind of arms crossed. We sat at the back. You know what? I am so glad that we took that first step and we went, because we would never be where we are today if we didn't do that. There are so many important reasons to go to these elite academies. And I know that it can be expensive for you and your team. And I know that there's things that can stand in the way, but you guys are good at that. You guys are problem solvers. You guys can make it happen with enough planning. So some of the reasons that we should go to Elite Academy and some of the things it's done for us are that, especially when it's your first time, like it was my first time in San Antonio, you're seeing a room of 5, 6, 7,000 people. That is the best social proof that this business works that you can get. You're seeing leaders talk on stage, meeting people from all over the world, people that are just like you, okay? And that was the biggest, most important part for a first timer going to Elite Academy.
Absolutely. And for myself anyways, when you're starting your business, most importantly, sometimes it's about you when you first go to your very first event. I find that your very first event's usually about you, and then after that, it's ongoing with your teams. And when you're just getting started, the most important part is just recharging your batteries and building in that self-belief. And most importantly, meeting a lot of new networks and other people that are doing this business with you along the side. You get to learn some great knowledge. You get to learn some great tips about the new products that are being launched. You get to taste new products. The massive LifeVantage store.
So cool.
All these incredible things that are happening. And most importantly, you get to be actually taught how to market your business and market the products along the way for your future.
And then when you're doing that and you're there, as you grow, maybe you're going to that first event alone, maybe you haven't been to one, or maybe the next one, maybe we're gonna see you in Kansas and it's your first one. But if you keep going and you keep promoting and bringing your team with you, eventually you're gonna have a team there. And the most important thing for your team is that they're going to get to meet new people, they're gonna get to build relationships, and the fun and belief building that you guys have at these is the most important thing ever. Belief is the key to this industry, believing in ourselves, believing in what we have as a company, believing in each other. And the fun part, woo, it's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, we have some fun for sure.
We totally have some fun. And that fun is really, really important, not just because, well, we all want to have fun, but helping market your business as well. Fun is really, really important. When you're promoting these events to people, it's important to show them what the event is like through the fun you've had, whether it's videos, photos, stories. We've all heard in this business that facts tell and stories sell. So think about putting that in terms of promotion. If we're promoting Elite Academy, but we're like, yeah, we go sit in classes all day, it's not gonna sound very fun. People aren't gonna wanna go. And you know what? We'd be lying, because it is super fun. But you wanna explain to them and show them what it is, okay? Great ways to promote Elite Academies. They say a great promoter doesn't just tell people to go. They're the first one with their ticket. They're that leader that's pre-registered. They know where and when the next Elite Academy is, what the ticket price is at, how flights are doing. All of that stuff is important to know. So if you want to become more of a leader in your team, that's a great first step. Get to know all those details so you can help promote the next Elite Academy. Okay, on top of that, you should talk about it, or could talk about it, on team calls, on your Facebook pages. If you've got team Facebook pages, you generally need to show up. Another great option, if you have, home meetings or something like that, you can have a slideshow of all the fun stuff that we do in this company. A lot of our favorite photos on the wall, although the wall behind us is blank, most of our favorite photos are us in Charleston or Florida or Anaheim. They're us all around the world at these different elite academies. So it's really wonderful to have those memories. And if you have those maybe playing on a slideshow on the TV before a home meeting or before a training, people get to almost experience the feeling of what it's like to be at an elite academy. So remember to share those stories, to let your team understand what it's really like and get a bit of a feeling of what their first elite academy will be like before they go. Now, at my first elite academy, we talked about fun. There's always a ton of fun. True Blue parties. Anybody excited for that coming up in Kansas Saturday night? In San Antonio, we had a big barbecue dinner on the rooftop of this gorgeous hotel. It was super fun. And we were actually up there. I was talking with some of our elite leaders and telling them a little about this guy I'd started dating. Yeah, him. But I knew he was at home taking care of his mom with a knee replacement. I knew that he was a worker, a hard worker. He was entrepreneurial, and I knew I had to show this to him. Now, all fine and dandy if he was in Texas. He wasn't there, right? So we need other more local events to get the information out to people. So I was very lucky in having Brandon come to a home meeting with me.
Absolutely. And what you may not know that actually happened is she got excited, so excited in San Antonio that when she came home, she was a fireball of energy. I was quite confused on this mother-daughter trip. And then I actually found out that she was drinking the Kool-Aid, that she was involved in network marketing.
The Axio.
Yeah, the Axio Kool-Aid is right. So she actually showed me a little bit about the company herself, poking me at night, telling me that I need to talk about this crazy yellow pill, or that I need it, or that my mom needs it, all the importance of the products and how we can make all this money. And I was just like, oh my goodness. But more importantly, the number one...
So don't do that. I did that wrong.
No. More importantly, the number one word came out of her mouth, which was support. And I knew I wanted to support her with at least taking a vision at what the company had to offer for us, for our future, and make an educated decision for myself anyways. And to be absolutely honest, you guys, there's no way that I, myself, would have probably joined this company as well as a lot of your prospects and guests if she just continued to poke. It was that home meeting that set up what I wanted to see out of the company to make myself have that educated decision, like I mentioned. So a lot of times you have to understand that a home meeting is usually, it could be anywhere as a hotel, it could be anywhere as a coffee shop, it could be a restaurant, it could be basically anywhere that has a great atmosphere that you guys could connect and have a fun time sharing this information about the company and the products.
And the way we share the information in a home meeting is basically, the reason we do them is because we're getting together, we're in a comfortable environment. A lot of the time, your friends are more than willing to come over to your house to check something out. But if it's some big stuffy event somewhere else, they need to buy a ticket or they need to, it's not casual. We're casual, we're fun, we keep it really light, and that way people enjoy coming and hanging out and experiencing that culture with us at those home meetings as well.
Absolutely. So I find that the home meeting is probably one of the most important parts. A lot of us actually lost that in the past here over the last little while. We've gained it back here on Vancouver Island, and I must tell you guys that things are absolutely booming. But just like every good event, things do need to have some structure along the way to make people feel like they're in a professional standpoint or that they're getting the information from a professional. And that's just the way home meetings should be ran. I feel like the structure, you should always have a good host. A host could be anyone that just joined last week, or even the host that's actually the person running the home meeting at their home. So you want to have one host. You always want to have a presenter. It doesn't matter what rank that presenter is. So many people go through network marketing thinking it has to be the big wigs sharing the information. You want to know that the presenter at the front of the room is always looking like the professional anyways to your guests. So it doesn't matter what rank you are. And Eric and I always like to add anywhere between 1 to 3 stories in there. And what a story is, it's just a quick 1 to 2 minute validation from a new person that just got started, whether they have a product testimony or whether they have a financial testimony. But it allows people to see that this too can be built by the average person. And it actually teaches a great form of duplication towards your group.
So when we talk about those roles, the host role in a home meeting is to start the meeting, to welcome everybody, to talk about a little bit of the housekeeping, where the washrooms are. They can ask to hold their questions to the end, and then they tell their little 2-minute story. So you guys have all heard about how to tell your story. If you haven't, look up Eric Worre. He has 4 key points to telling your story in network marketing. Our host always tells that story, and then their next job is to edify our presenter. And edification is just building up that presenter, maybe telling a little story about how they know them, talking about their expertise or their background, but edifying that presenter so the audience knows who that presenter is a little bit before they come up. Then our presenter will come up, generally thank the host and give them some sort of edification and compliment, because generally our hosts are killing it. They will present the opportunity, whether it's through a slideshow, whether it's through the 6 opportunity points. It's totally flexible of how you present that, and you want it to be personal. You want it to come from your heart, to be genuine, to present this opportunity. And those stories Brandon talked about, we prefer to pull them up at the end. Our presenter will invite up our 2 people or 3 people or 1 person, depending on time, to tell their story. That person, again, it's just their 1 to 2 minute quick little story. And often we choose our newest distributors for that.
Absolutely. The newest people are the most important people in the room other than the guests. You have to remember that. So as soon as you get those new people in front of the room, sharing their stories and sharing some of the testimonials of how much fun they're having or the culture that's being created, then they'll rotate through that cycle of becoming a host and one day becoming the presenter, and it allows you to keep that duplication system going. But with every home meeting with good structure, you also have to have some etiquette and some respectable grounds for sure.
You do. So I'm going to tell you some of our favorite things. Again, it's your business. What you choose to take from this is for you to choose. We love home meetings when we have somebody greeting people at the door. So they might just be welcoming everybody, introducing themselves. That way a guest never feels weird walking into a random home. It's really nice to have a greeter. So it can be anybody on your team. Sometimes our new people aren't ready to stand up and share a story, but they love people and they want to go greet people. That's great. We love having greeters at our home meetings. Some of the other etiquette things that we like to teach our team that I think are really important is to stay on time. So we have guests coming that, might have allotted from 7 to 8 p.m. for this home meeting. We want to start our home meetings on time. That's our host's job. So make sure that the meeting's on time, and make sure that the presenter that you're meeting is under that hour. So we like to stay for sure under 45 minutes, just so that after that meeting is done, with everything included, we have time for a meeting after the meeting. And if you've been around the company, you probably know already, sometimes that's where the best things happen, is that meeting after the meeting. So really respecting everyone's time is very, very important. Other etiquette things, if maybe you're sitting in the audience, you're not the presenter, don't be on your phone or looking the other way or yawning or sitting like that. I won't invite him to my meetings anymore, right? The most important thing is that you are engaged. So sitting up, sitting forward, paying attention to that presenter, making sure that you're listening, because even though, we've been in LifeVantage over 4 years, I still go to home meetings and it's a brand new person presenting and I still learn something. So make sure that you're engaged. It creates an awesome energy and atmosphere in the room. Please make sure as an audience member, distributor, or guest, you don't interrupt the presentation, the presenter. You guys probably know better than anybody, a lot of the time we're nervous presenting, or maybe it's our first time presenting or first time being the host. If we're interrupted or something goes wrong like that, it can really throw people off and it takes a little while to get back on board. So try not to interrupt them. Don't correct people when they're talking, and make sure if you have questions or you have feedback for them, if they've asked for it, save it until the end of the presentation so we're not interrupting that person. Very, very important. The other thing that I like to suggest, at our home meetings, we often put out big pictures of Axio for people to try at the end. But if you're going to a home meeting and maybe it's at someone's house, you don't really know if they do that, bring some samples. Bring a bottle of water, bring some Axio sticks, let your guests have some of those samples, because we really want to treat those guests just like we treat our LV family. You guys know how lovely it is to be treated like LV family. So treating our guests like that is really, really, really important too.
Absolutely. And honestly, like Erica said, actually in the little prior there part, she said that the meeting after the meeting was the most important part. And this is where the magic actually happens, and when enrollments and signups start coming into the new team. So most importantly, you guys, we've seen it happen so often, is that people have their guests there with them, and they'll be some of the first people to leave. What you want to do with your guests is you want to make sure that your guest gets introduced to the presenter, maybe to the host, or even some of the people that shared the stories in front of the room. Because to your guest, those people are the professionals. This is where your validation comes, and this is when the magic happens, that questions start being asked and questions start being answered. So you always want to make sure that your guest is never leaving a room with unanswered questions, because then you're going to lead into you again being the person trying to close them and trying to sell them on something, and that's not what you want. So do your best to introduce them to that presenter or some of the other guest speakers in the room to get those questions answered before they do head home. And obviously that will just lead up towards, I think one of the best things is if they're not ready to join, what it'll do is it'll lead them up to the next event, which could very well be a regional meeting, which is what we do here on Vancouver Island quite often.
So for our regional meetings, it is an awesome way to get everybody together. So I have to right now, before I even tell you about regional meetings, give a huge shout out to Carrie Arnott and Michelle Kasorik. They are some of our biggest leaders here on the island, and they really helped get these regional meetings flowing, and we've been able to keep them going. So what we do with these regional meetings is we have home meetings in all the different cities around where we are, but once a month we all come together for this regional meeting. So we host our regional meeting in the centermost area that we can for everybody to have equal driving distance to. We suggest you use maybe not a home. Often it's a lot bigger than that. If you're just starting, it could be. But we use a rec center or a hotel. We just rent a place that we can fit everybody. These regional meetings are just like a home meeting on a bigger scale. So everybody comes together. It's awesome for building relationships. And we always ensure at our regional meetings, we rotate them through the top leaders in our area. So you know when you're going to a regional meeting that it is a top leader presenting, okay? We have everybody else, all the other ranks presenting at all the other meetings, and we save those regional meetings for our top ranked distributors that are local. In those regional meetings, another really important thing that we do is we do a training first. So how our regional meetings look is we all arrive from 6 to 7 p.m. We do it on the third Friday of every month. We used to do the last Friday and had to move it up a week so we could close strong right at the end of the month. But we show up, we do an hour of training. So whoever's turn it is to host, or whichever top leader is running the regional meeting that week, they will organize the training. It doesn't mean it's them training. It just means that they're the ones inviting trainers or coming up with the subjects to train on. So we always do a 1 hour training from 6 to 7 p.m. We leave a nice little half an hour break from 7 to 7:30 so that our guests can arrive. If we need to go pick up guests or go meet people, we can do that. And from 7:30 to 8:30 is our big opportunity meeting. Now again, we try not to use that whole hour. 30 to 45 minutes seems to be a great mark for our area and our group. And then at the end, we always leave it open. So we have snacks, we have people hanging out and chatting for that meeting after the meeting. And we often have prizes too. So that's something a little different about our regional meeting. Again, to make it a little more exciting, we'll often have prizes. So it might be a giveaway of product for whoever brought the most guests, or the first person to enroll as a customer or distributor maybe gets, we've done a free bottle of fat burner or a free physique shake or a box of Axio. So we often do things like that, which helps get that energy high, gets people excited. Okay, so these regional meetings are really, really great because they also bring us all together. So distributors that maybe we don't get to see as often as we would love to face, maybe we see them a lot more on social media, we get to see in person. You get to meet people. When you bring your new people there, again, that's social proof of having a room of 50 or 60 distributors where it's working for them. They've made a paycheck. They're getting their rank advancements. That's huge. So these regional meetings have been awesome. They've been going probably about 3 years here on Vancouver Island, at least 2 to 3 years. And we've just been having awesome success with them in terms of the number of guests attending, in terms of the signups on the spot or after. So if you maybe aren't doing a regional meeting, it might be something, team up with some of your local leaders and see if you can put something together for once a month for a big regional meeting.
So many people actually think that network marketing is another job or more work and all no play, and we always want to make sure that our teams feel like there is a little bit of fun. So we don't,
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we like a lot of fun.
We don't do it enough. But we encourage you to as well, if you want to put on an event of a social fun regional, whatever it is, even if it's once a month and you just head down to the beach for a walk, or you guys have a barbecue in someone's backyard, or maybe you guys go out to dinner and some appetizers together and just kind of creating that culture. Because what we tend to forget in network marketing is that most people aren't joining actually network marketing for the products or the company. Most people are joining for a friendship and a culture. And that's the main thing that you want to create here with your team, is obviously great duplication, but more importantly, you want to create great culture. And Brandon and Lynette have started that for us 9-10 years ago, and they've created an incredible duplication of True Blue culture. And I think that we have the best in LifeVantage. And for you to be able to continue creating that, it's more than just going to home meetings and events. So if you can, even once a month, put together a social. And it's so fantastic. We don't do it nearly enough. Like I said, every couple months we get together as a team, but I believe it needs to be more, because we need to understand that these regional meetings and these event cycles that we're just going through this cycle right now lead us up to these elite academies and lead us up to these conventions all the time.
So what we want to kind of go back and just wrap up with you guys is, first, it's really great to get your guest or prospect. Maybe it's a Facebook opportunity meeting or a quick phone call or a coffee shop meeting, leading them to the next step of a home meeting. From a home meeting, an awesome next step is that regional meeting that we talked about with those bigger presenters and more people to talk to and meet. And after that, whether it's distributors or guests, the next step would be those elite academies. Now, those elite academies are conventions. They're so important. It's hard to put into words how important these are for you and your teams to get to. So just to tell you a bit more about our story and how those were so important for us, is my first event showed me what the company was and made me want to go and tell Brandon. We hit Pro 4 the next month or 2 months later, and that was what got us to go. It was about a week before our Orlando Elite Academy. So we decided that, well, heck, if we got that, we got to go to Academy and take some people. So I think we had one person on our team come with us, which is great. That's okay. Then it kept snowballing, and this snowball effect, when people are fired up and people are excited from elite academies, is amazing. Our next event we went to in Kansas City, actually, so excited to be going back there.
Reunion.
Actually, during Kansas City, it was on the Saturday?
Yes.
It was on the Saturday, because I remember the True Blue party after. On the Saturday at Kansas City, we actually hit Pro 5. So again, that's not just us. That's because the team is fired up. Our team was there. We had about 14 or 15 people, I think, on our team there at that point. So that was another big moment for us with an event. Can you see how it all works? Then in Nashville, our team was fired up again. So we keep going event to event. And Nashville was really exciting. Right after Nashville, we actually hit the rank of Pro 6 and had new Pro 5 on our team. So again, these events are really important for you, for your team, and promoting events is always the #1 thing. So important to promote those events, just like Kansas City coming up, right?
Absolutely. Like Eric has mentioned over and over and over, the event cycle and what these events have done for us has been the most important part of our LifeVantage career, as well as our business, but also meeting new people. And we wouldn't be here without the events. So guys, promote it like crazy. Go to as many as you possibly can. We really do look forward to seeing you guys in Kansas City in just over 2 weeks. If you see us and you see us there, please, a handshake, a hug, whatever you want to do, come say hi, introduce yourself. We will not miss an event moving forward, and we look forward to meeting you all in Kansas City. Thanks for having us here today at True Blue.
And don't forget to register for your Destination Elite Academy too. We're so excited for Cancun. We'll see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your training.
See you in Kansas.
Bye.
Bye.
That was incredible, guys. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Brandon, for that training on events. Events are huge for your business. There's really two things that you can track if you're a tracker. You can track a lot of things, but if you will track how many presentations you're doing or your team is doing collectively, and if you'll track how many people on your team are getting to events, and that's really all you need to know about the future of your business. Because if more people are telling the story, presentations, and more people are going to events where their belief and their education is growing, the results are inevitable. You are going to grow a big organization. And so what I really loved about that training is they broke it down for you. Erica told you the significance of what Elite Academy meant to her and her story and her journey onto home meetings. Brandon let you know what home meetings meant to him. Like, hey, if it wasn't for home meetings, if it was just messaging and, it wouldn't have worked. Home meetings are huge. They explained how collectively as leadership, they build towards a regional meeting. They really explained the funnel, guys, the funnel of events where it's home meetings, regionals, and then Elite Academies. That was phenomenal, guys. And now you know there's no mystery why they are Pro Sixes. And they are not, I don't even want to say up and coming leaders. They're leaders, but their leadership is being felt through this team. We appreciate you guys so greatly. And man, just really helping pioneer not only LifeVantage, but Canada as well. Thank you guys for that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this training today. It definitely has a different feel, a better feel. We're listening to you. The team listens to you. All of you matter. And we heard you loud and clear. You wanted a training that was more broad, more robust, right? And we think we brought that and delivered it to you. We could keep going, but we know that you've got things to do today. And the great thing is we will do another training next month. First Saturday of the month is where we're dropping these. We'll have different trainers, different topics, different distributors, different stories. You can go back and watch these. You can share them. And just some quick reminders for those that may not know. Make sure you are fully aware of the tools available to you at teamtrueblue.org. teamtrueblue.org. Everything you need is there. Our Get Started checklist is there. All of our events where you can connect. I mean, there's just so much there. Make sure you're checking that website out regularly. You guys know our 3-step system as a team is the ITT. We say, just do it. Like, how do I do this business? Well, you just do it. But it's with 2 T's, invite, tool, team. Invite, tool, team. All of that training is at Team True Blue. And we use a website as an auxiliary tool for sharing content. That website is crazyyellowpill.com. That's right. It's kind of weird. Like, you've heard about the crazy yellow pill, right? And they're like, no. They're like, you got to check this thing out. If I send you a video, would you take a look, right? It's crazyyellowpill.com. And we just made some enhancements there. So make sure you're familiar with that website as well as also our app. The company has done a phenomenal job, more and more amazing content with our LifeVantage app. So make sure you're familiar with teamtrueblue.org, crazyyellowpill.com, and our app. That's all you need, guys. There is nothing, you don't need anything else to go to Pro 10 other than getting your team presenting and getting to events, right? That's kind of what it's all about. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this training. Thank all of you trainers that participated and prepared and put time into this. Thank you. For our distributors who share their product stories and who shared their business stories. Guys, we are so excited about the future of this company and this team. We just came off just an amazing month where some amazing growth happened. And we know this is a journey for all of you, and we're here to support you any way we can. Thank you so much for being a part of this team, and we will talk to you on our Monday Facebook Live. Plug into that on a weekly basis. See you soon. Bye.